A warm greeting. Today is Sunday, September 1st, 2024. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. In this video, I will be providing an update regarding a strong tropical wave approaching the Lesser Antilles, which continues to have a moderate chance of cyclonic development as it moves westward, and may encounter better conditions for development when it reaches the western Caribbean Sea. It is important for residents of the Yucatán Peninsula, northern Guatemala, Belize, and Honduras to stay alert to the evolution of this tropical wave. However, for the rest of the Caribbean, it does not pose a direct threat, except for some showers that will affect the Lesser Antilles and Puerto Rico between Monday and Tuesday, and then between Tuesday and Wednesday in the Dominican Republic. On the other hand, the National Hurricane Center continues to monitor the area east of Texas, where there is a low chance of a tropical cyclone developing, but the probabilities are extremely low, so there is no reason for concern in Texas or Louisiana. Additionally, a strong tropical wave is moving off the coast of Africa. This system has a low probability of cyclonic development as it moves west of the Cape Verde Islands, but for now, it does not pose a threat to the Caribbean or any land areas. Here, you can see the latest outlook from the National Hurricane Center, which maintains a 40% chance of development for the tropical wave approaching the Caribbean Sea, along with a 10% chance of development just east and southeast of Texas. At 8 p.m., the probabilities for development of the next tropical wave increased to 30%. In this video, I will focus on this tropical wave, which could potentially affect areas between Jamaica, the Yucatán Peninsula, Belize, Guatemala, and Honduras. But before that, I would like to briefly mention that we are now in September, historically the most active month of the Atlantic hurricane season. Fortunately, we continue to experience an unusually inactive period, despite forecasts that this hurricane season would be hyperactive. These are definitely good news, and we hope this calm continues in the coming weeks. The stability of the atmosphere in the tropical Atlantic has surprised meteorologists, as it is preventing the development of thunderstorms and, consequently, creating conditions that are not favorable for the formation of tropical cyclones. This is happening despite the fact that sea surface temperatures remain warmer than usual across the main cyclonic development zone, and we are in neutral ENSO conditions. However, these factors, which are favorable for a hyperactive season, are being counteracted by dry and stable air descending from mid-latitudes into the tropical Atlantic region. We are very fortunate, as we had anticipated a hyperactive period in August, and we only saw the formation of 2 hurricanes. At this point, it is very likely that the forecasts for a hyperactive season will not come true. However, it is important not to let our guard down, as September can be very active, as can October and November. We will see what happens in the coming weeks. What I can tell you is that currently, the Atlantic is not generating accumulated cyclonic energy, even though we are at the peak of the season. It seems that the tropical Atlantic will continue to have conditions that are not optimal for cyclonic development over the next 2 weeks. With a bit of luck, we will have an additional 2 weeks without significant development between the Caribbean and Africa. This is mainly due to the fact that we are now entering a phase of the Madden-Julian oscillation that is not favorable for the formation of cyclones in the Atlantic. And if we did not see the development of tropical cyclones during the favorable phase we had in August, then it will be very difficult to see the formation of multiple cyclones. Again, with a bit of luck, it seems that the first half of September will have below normal cyclonic activity. However, this could change in the 3rd and 4th weeks of September, as a favorable phase of the Madden-Julian oscillation moves through the Atlantic. But of course, this will depend on whether the stability dominating the conditions in the tropical Atlantic changes to unstable conditions. Time will tell if this hurricane season ends up being below normal, or if we see a significant increase in cyclonic activity by the end of September and in October. Let's now talk about the strong tropical wave approaching the Lesser Antilles. Here, you can see that it is generating some thunderstorms which remain disorganized. As I mentioned yesterday, if this tropical wave does not become a tropical depression before reaching the Lesser Antilles, it will face unfavorable conditions for cyclonic formation as it moves over the eastern Caribbean Sea. There is no danger of a tropical cyclone affecting the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, or the Dominican Republic. This tropical wave will only bring an increase in instability and showers between Monday and Wednesday, with some rainfall totals ranging from 40 to 60 millimeters for the southern half of the Lesser Antilles, and for some sectors of Puerto Rico and eastern Dominican Republic. Thanks to this tropical wave remaining weak and reaching the Caribbean Sea without being a tropical cyclone, the probabilities of development shift to the western Caribbean region, where it could indeed find more favorable conditions for development. This is also good news for Cuba and Jamaica, as a weaker system is likely to move further west, but it could pose a threat to areas of Honduras, the Yucatán Peninsula, Belize, and northern Guatemala. It is very important to note that most models no longer see the development of a tropical cyclone, and the concern we had in recent days that a dangerous hurricane could form in the western Caribbean has dissipated, as the models now do not show significant development of this tropical wave. Nevertheless, there is still a 40% chance of development in these areas, and for example, Some models, like the Canadian model, do show the development of a tropical storm by the end of this week, as do some members of the European model, where 20% to 30% of them develop a tropical storm by the end of this week. For this reason, it is important for residents of the Yucatán Peninsula, Belize, and northern Honduras and Guatemala to continue monitoring the evolution of this tropical wave. Also, note that the ensemble of members of the GFS model shows that 20% to 25% of them develop a tropical cyclone by the end of this week. In general, the events of this weekend have been good news because the tropical wave has remained very weak, and it is no longer projected to become a hurricane when it reaches the Western Caribbean. Here at Hurricane Info, I will continue to monitor the evolution of this tropical wave throughout the week, in case it manages to become a tropical cyclone and pose a threat to the Yucatán Peninsula, Guatemala, Belize, or Honduras. Well, that's all for this short video. Tomorrow, I will record a new update. To make sure you don't miss any of the videos I record, please check if you are subscribed to my channel. Go to the bottom of the video, click the red button that says subscribe, and then click the bell to receive notifications when I record new videos. I hope everyone has an excellent start to the week. Goodbye.